Folks, welcome back to the channel. Really do appreciate you being here. If you are new here, hey, how you doing? My name's Chris and I'm building a business that suits my lifestyle, and welcome to my warehouse. I hope you're doing well. The whole purpose of these videos, if you're finding it for the first time or have no idea what's going on, look at this chaos for number one. I'll explain that in a second, but the purpose of these videos is I'm documenting my journey. I've been building this business for the last 6 years. We started year 6 at the start of January. We've been in this warehouse for the last year actually, but we started from home, we moved into storage units, and yeah, we've progressed onwards and upwards. We predominantly sell pre-loved fashion, pre-loved clothing. We also do a number of tech and e-waste stuff as well, which is really something we're trying to push into even more and more this year. But the other reason why I document this journey is I'm just wanting to inspire, motivate, and encourage you to go after what it is that you do. As I document this, I'm sharing my, decisions I'm making, sharing the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, everything in between. And the idea is that by me doing that, showing you that I'm capable of making this happen, that maybe you'll go after whatever your dream is. It doesn't have to be eBay, it doesn't have to be, e-commerce, it doesn't even have to be business. It's more just the inspiration to go get them. Oh, geez, it's Monday morning, it's a new week, February 9th, and we've got all of this to deal with. It's going to be a huge day, huge week this week. I've got to get all that stuff outside. It's getting picked up today, which is great. Get some space back. We've got to clean all this up as well. We've got the whatnot stuff going out from last Friday. I didn't come on the weekend. All of this, and then we've got a whole bunch in here as well. I want to get that out of the way so Dion can come in and focus on doing the eBay stuff. And then I've got a camera, I think it's a camera, coming in today from this new program that I'm working with. And got the washing coming back. Hopefully we're getting, if I'm lucky, I might even get some e-waste. We had our new first collection come through from that new business that I'm working with. Whole bunch of different stuff, so it's going to be pretty jam-packed. I've had some inspiration and some game-changing plans over the weekend of things that I want to just get right in here. But today's focus is obviously get the postage done, get this all cleaned up, and then move into a solid, productive week. So I hope you're doing well. We've got timestamps down below. If you have a question, you can leave a comment. In terms of how the weekend was, it was pretty poopy, to be honest. We've had a higher ASP, but we've only got a low amount of sales going out. But it's not necessarily a bad thing if the ASP is high. So we've got about 48 orders to go out. Good range of stuff. I think the ASP is closer to $56, $60, which, is probably, it's not double what we normally do. We're doing about 45, so it's a little bit higher, which means it kind of evens out. We ended up doing about 7,200 last week, which we're below targets. We need to be doing about 9.5. So it is what it is. I'm going to get the phones on charge, get things outside, and get set up and get ready to kick butt this week. Lots of things happening. I'll take you through it a bit later. Let's get into it. Done. All right, I'm going to get started on this whatnot stuff. We've got about 25 orders to ship. It's actually probably about closer to 17 because some of them are multi-quantity packages that we'll have to do. So I'm going to get cracking on this so it just makes Dion's life a little bit easier when he gets in. He's probably in about 8:30. See how far we can go. I hope it's not raining. No, it's not. One of the things that I was just mentioned here is that we're going to make some changes in here, and really I've just been doing a deep dive into where we have the most control over in order to get a better outcome. we can talk about that we don't have good stock. We can talk about, you know, the sales are down, but that's, you know, that's all fair. But the big thing is like, well, what else can you do today that's going to get you closer to where you want to be? And there's been a good little moment of just like inner self-aware of just kind of like looking inner towards the business of what can we do better, what can we change, and there's a whole bunch of different stuff. So I want to, it doesn't necessarily have to happen today, but I am going to continue to do another clean sweep in here, and I want to get those tables all sorted. I'm going to probably end up storing them outside, put a tarp over them so we just get them out of the way, and then really would need to get back into this backlog of e-waste as well. And we've got shoes and stuff, but the idea is I need to have a little dedicated station set up, which we should. Like, I don't know why we don't, but it's my own fault, of being able to have a new team member come in and just do non-clothing constantly. Like, we've got all of that, and I've got another 2 boxes of that kind of stuff, like big boxes like this of just shoes, and then we have all the shoes and handbags that come through the consignment job as well. So we've got a big backlist, probably about 200, 300 items, even if it means they're coming in over the next 4 or 5 weeks, spending a few hours and just slowly tapping through it. The other reason why I'm wanting to just clean some things up in here more is because we're going to be, again, changing processes, making processes cleaner. I need to sneeze. Oh, there we go. And the reason why is because this new, and I'll talk about it a bit later, I can't get to the van at the moment, but this new collection system that I've teamed up with, we had a collection over the weekend, and that is proving that it's working. I've had another request to book a pickup come through last night as well, and I'm just waiting to get that confirmed. So that's ramping up, and if that ramps up more, again, it's going to take more time, and we need to have a really good input-output process, meaning as stuff comes in, where's it going, how's it being handled. A lot of that we have, but at the moment, as you can see, we're behind. I'm behind in being able to process that, so really just needing to get on top of those things and really start to build out some of the processes, the controls, and the things that are needed for that. So yeah, I've got a few ideas. My head's running wild. I've got to do a bit of admin stuff today as well, and yeah, but let's get on the whatnot, let's get cracking, and let's make this happen. I'll probably show you some stuff a bit later as well of what's sold, and yeah, let's do it. Alright team, almost finished the whatnot stuff. We've still got some of the big bundles to do, but Dion's in now and he's just been getting out the postage for the weekend. So we've got a whole bunch of those Galaxy tablets that we did the other week. We've got a phone, we've got these records going out, a couple of autograph stuff, lots of clothes. There were a couple of multi-quantity orders in this, nothing crazy, but we sold a lot of Ralph this weekend actually, and we've actually started to sell a lot more jackets. We've got this reversible Nautica, we've got this nice big Portman's coat, and a nice little Ralph Lauren polo golf Harrington kind of style, I guess. Bit different to the Harrington. And then all of this is whatnot. Still going for the whatnots, but Dion's going to start on the postage in a moment. The whatnots, we've still got a couple of ones to make up to send out, and then the rest will be for pickup. So we'll continue to do that in a bit. But yeah, making good progress on it. Happy days. Alright Tim, we have got all the washing back. I've just got it all flat laid out. Lots of, actually majority of this is, there's not many modern, but there's all vintage sweaters and hoodies again. I think the next thing that we're sending out for washing is probably going to be, I've already moved it over here. Oh no, here it is. We've got a whole bunch of knits. It's either knits or we're going to be sending out probably some of the stuff that we had the work experience students sort last week. So we've got a whole bunch of different stuff in here. The shorts maybe we could do. There is some Ralph Lauren polos in here as well. So yeah, we've got heaps of options, but we're probably not sending it to about Thursday. We all need to keep doing this consignment stuff as well. But we are setting up a whatnot show for this week, which is going to be, I think, a Disney show. So whole lot of fun. Alright team, just getting this week's to-do list all organised, so we're ahead of what I need to be doing and just writing it down to get it off my head. But a couple of things happening for this week is we will be having another whatnot. So got to set that up. That will be a Disney show. It's probably going to be on Friday again, and then so we'll say Friday. So we're gonna have to do a bit of prep work on that. I'm setting up a new workstation which is permanent for non-clothing. New, we'll call it non-clothing workstation setup. And that's so then I can have someone come and go to do certain types of products without friction. It's gonna happen. We need to do next washing round, which will either be for the end of the week or next week. We have a couple of things I need to do out in the e-waste section, but I'm just going to put e-waste, we'll just call it uplift. There's a few more things need to just continue, and we also have the backlog, but the backlog stuff we may be able to put into the new non-clothing workstation. There's a whole bunch of other process guides that I've been working on, which I'm gonna have to just really buckle down to do, because if I can get some of these, like there's a whole bunch of e-waste stuff that like it doesn't require technical knowledge. There's just steps in process to actually be able to test the unit and then be able to just take a photo of it. So if I can get that all on paper, it's going to be a quick little win here. So this is actually pretty important. There's a few other bits and bobs. So for this new collection system, I need to focus on getting some new processes there. That's for we're just going to say inbound stock, and I need to do some space changes as well. There's a bunch of other things happening this week. Also, if I can spell as well. So that's really top of mind at the moment. I'm probably going to work on, I think, this stuff today, and I do have a couple of meetings as well today, so I'm just waiting when that's going to happen. I think it's around 10 o'clock, so it's just getting ready for it. Got to finish the whatnot stuff today, but you know, that's just kind of things for today. But they're kind of the big stuff that I'm focusing my time on this week. And the other thing is just we just need to get more photos up. That's really the priority, even for me, of listings. That's the key thing. So that's this week. Let's get into it. Alright team, it's been a bit. I've had some lunch. We've actually been doing a whole bunch of shuffling over here, getting the new workstation set up, as I said, so that we can have non-clothing being processed very quickly. Got a new workstation there and everything, so that should make our lives a little bit easier. I've moved one of the machines that I had down here so that we can get this happening. So now so this will be non-clothing, so that's going to be like shoes, handbags, toys, books, all that kind of stuff. And there's a few other things still need to just get set up over there so it's ready to go, but just got that out of the way so that it's, you know, removing those friction points. I'm going to quickly sort through a box of clothes, which is for some wholesale, some kids and baby stuff. So I'm going to sort through that, get that ready for a customer, and yeah, I'm going to clean up all this, make the space back in here, and get back to it. Alright, so the way that we do this wholesale lot of kids clothing, so I have a friend, in this case a customer at another business, that they just sell purely kids clothing, and when I get kids clothing in, I go through, I sort it, and I just basically count it up into the types that they want, and then yeah, I just charge them a flat rate plus postage and everyone's happy. So I'm just doing that quickly, get that out the door. Whether they pay today might not be the case, but at least we can get it ticked off, done today. This was meant to go on the list earlier, totally forgot about it. Alright, that's all done. There was only 41 pieces, nothing crazy, but hey, hopefully the customer will be happy with that. There was a lot of dirty stuff in here, just low-end brands, Target and all that kind of stuff, which just not worth it for my customer. So that's done. On to the next task. Alright, so our whatnot is confirmed for Friday, but we just got to do the sorting of clothes. We now have the new non-clothing workstation set up. That's done, all done. Now the next thing, I've also done the wholesale order. This will take a few days because I need to wait till the pallets are gone. This one that's actually more for actually putting on paper. So really I'm going to have to go do some e-waste backlog, I think, and yeah, photos of listings. That's it for the rest of the day, I think. All right, team, good news is this has been approved to go out, so I've got to send the customer invoice and they'll make payment. The other good news is we had the pallets picked up, so that's all gone, and I've got a few things I've got to get out of my van, but I'm just going to send this invoice to the customer, get that all sorted. I've been doing photos over at the new photo station, just getting that moving and grooving. But yeah, I mean, we're making progress. I mean, sales have been absolutely atrocious today. We've done 2 sales. Like, I don't know what eBay's doing, but you know, we're charging on anyway. I forgot to show my numbers earlier, so we're at 90,788. Yeah, let's do what we got to do. All right, team, we have got our first batch of a pickup. Now, this was nothing special, but it's helping prove that this person's new idea is working. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. I'm going to have to go through it, see if it's worth it, whatever. But it worked out. There was a few other things, about 25 kilos worth. So there was a couple of fans as well, which I'm actually testing down there with one of the staff members. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. The 2 fans are just like the tower fans that just rotate. And I think some of those DVD players and hi-fi units hopefully get 40 to 80 bucks maybe. I might just wholesale them, but anyway, that's all part of the process now. That's my part that I have to do. So yeah, very yeah, happy with all this. I'm going to do some listings. All right, this is why I don't get any work done, because things are always rapidly changing. So we have had another camera come in. We've got a Sony A7. This is a little bit damaged up here. It is having a bit of a issue error, apparently. Anyway, we've picked it up as parts only, not working. The device seems to turn on, but because we don't have a lens, we don't have the history of it, we're just going to be selling this one as parts only, not working. So hopefully we'll get about 200 for this one. So I'm actually going to go photo this now, get this done, so we can get it all listed and sold. All right, team, we're coming to the end of the day. It's been one of those days where, geez, we've done lots of things, getting things ready for the rest of the week. It's 4:12 now, so I'm about to pack the car and go and pick up Carla, but I'm gonna go quickly get out some things for quick wins tomorrow. But it's been one of those days where not much sales, haven't really focused on sales, but just really trying to get things ready for, you know, what we're doing next. And there's a lot of momentum picking up. There's a lot of other things picking up in areas that are enabling the business, you know, new opportunities, you know, getting the camera that came through. Hopefully we'll get some more tech stuff that comes through. We're meant to be getting e-waste later this week, a whole bunch of different things. But, you know, that's great. There, all those things are happening, like I spoke about last week, really trying to build out some moats for the business. But, you know, if we ain't getting sales, that's a bit of a problem. So anyway, it is what it is. I'm not going to try and get stuck on that. Just focus on doing the stuff that we got to do to get us to where we want to be. So that's what I'm going to keep doing, because clearly, you know, we're doing all the right things. There's just obviously some other things at play at this point. So that's it from me, folks. I'll take you through everything again tomorrow, what we're doing, what we're working on, and you'll take it easy. And hopefully we'll come back and I'll be able to say we've had some big sales over the weekend. I just listed that camera. It's now listed. We've listed it as parts. And I've, you know, hopefully we should be able to get 200 bucks for it. I've listed it for 293. And I'll wait till someone lowballs me for, you know, 190, 180 bucks. And I think we'll be able to walk away very quick with that one. So that's the idea. Let's see how long it takes. Anyway, ciao. And straight back to it. Welcome to Tuesday, folks. Beautiful day. Well, it's a bit cooler. That's what I mean by beautiful. I wouldn't say it's anything spectacular. All right, let's dive straight into it. So, look, yesterday evening after I finished up here, we've had some pretty good success with some things. So that camera that we got yesterday, we paid $60 for it. We've sold it for $200. And I think it's $39. That was a quick sale, so that gives me goosebumps, gives me excitement to know that, you know, things are working in that perspective. Nice little quick win. Other than that, things are just dead. And it's interesting to see been, looking around, just comparing to some of the competitors, some of the peers, and who's doing what and how the different tactics are playing out. Interesting. And in doing so, it motivates me and, gets me fired up to think, well, Chris, boy, you've got no excuses. Let's make it happen. So that's what we're going to do. So anyway, Tuesday today, I've got a whole bunch of things happening. I do have a call at 2 or 2:30. I think I've got the e-waste coming back today. Dion will be in. He'll be continuing on with clothes. I'm probably going to get into some shoes and stuff over here. Loving this new little station over here. I've also got to continue to clean up this crap, and we'll have the work experience student back this Friday to do more of this. Washing, we are going to get picked up probably on Thursday, Friday. We do have the Whatnot Disney show this week as well. So there's a bunch of different things, but that's not happening today. I'm quickly just going to get set up. I've been having a question come through, and it's probably been a question that I'm getting asked the most across all my little socials and channels and everything, is this screen right here. This screen is called a Samsung Flip, and it was actually donated to me from a good mate, one of my clients, customers, and mate now anyway. And yeah, this is a Samsung Flip 2. I'm going to chuck it up on screen. If you want to have a look at it, go have a look. This thing is quite expensive, but it is definitely worth it, because you can do all these things. You can, it's a screen. It's basically, it's not a TV, it's a screen. So you can connect things to it as well if you wanted to, connect your mobile to it, all these different things. So lots of fun on that one, but that's what it is. There was a question that came through. There was a whole bunch of questions come through that I'll probably try and address this morning as well. Let me get set up and we'll get into it. All right, let's answer and chat about some of the comments that have come through. Yeah, so it was the low key that asked about the digital whiteboard. Yeah, go check it out. Yeah, there's probably others cheaper alternatives, but for me, as it was donated, you can put it vertical, horizontal. I've purely got it more for Whatnot, but also to do some planning and things like that. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. All right, so there was a, it's not really a question, probably more of a statement. Profit First Reseller Joe, how you doing, mate? Thanks for being here. Bro, with all due respect, with a business your size, I wouldn't be spending time talking to problem customers. Might be satisfying to the ego to teach them a lesson, but it's not moving your business forward. There are so many fish in the sea, let them be some. Now, look, I agree and disagree with this. And my focus is customer centric. I want my customers to be happy because we have a lot of repeat buys. Now, I understand your business also has a lot of repeat buys. We are in different categories, although we do cross over a bit. But with the clothing, I find there is a lot of customers that just have a lack of understanding. And I work with these customers as much as possible. One, because I want them to be happy. I want them to be satisfied. I want them to have a positive experience and come back to the business. Of course, there's situations where, it gets out of hand, and that's why, eventually I just blocked and left it up to eBay on some. Whereas others, it's like, well, if they're struggling to be able to raise a return, or they don't know how to raise a return and things like that, I think there is a level of, yeah, sure, I can say go read the eBay policy, don't want to deal with you, but they put that experience back on me, or me and the business. Now, I don't have a team member that does all my communication with customers, but I think it's something. It's not about ego. It's not really about ego. I think it's more so important that I want people to come here, even if they find an issue, that we're the business that's going to fix the issue for you. There is a level of automations that I have within the business in terms of, if people do have any issues, things that, automatic returns or payout or whatever. But then there's sometimes where that isn't possible or feasible, which means it does require my time to have a conversation with them. And that's about building our brand responsibility and accountability. And I think as we scale, yes, we are a big business in size, but really we're quite small. In the long run, I would imagine that, I will need someone to help with those kind of little admin tasks. And I want to be able to build and create a culture of what we represent to our customers. So when customers come here, they have an issue, they know with confidence we're going to help fix that issue. But also if it's something that's not feasible or not possible because it's out of policy or it's not realistic, helping them understand. And, you know, I do take pride in that. So maybe there is some ego in it, but it's not about teaching them a lesson. It's kind of like, you know, if they want to play games, we're going to play games. But that's because that situation escalated. I think at first, as soon as someone has an issue, like I'm on top of it ASAP, simply because that is the core of our business. I mean, without the customers, we are nothing. Sure, we've got eBay, which helps get customers, but you know, we want to be known for what we deliver, what we provide, and the value that we create. There are a lot of fish in the sea, and I want those fish to be happy fish. It's not about letting them be someone else's problem. To be honest, if there's a problem customer, I don't want them to be someone else's problem. I don't want them on the platform, because that's not helping anyone. So that's my mentality on it. I understand where you're coming from, and it's a waste of time to deal with such customers. But I don't know, I've had some sticky situations in the past where, because I've wanted to ignore something because they might have been wrong, it's just created more havoc, more cases, more issues. You know, me having to provide evidence to eBay and things like that. So I usually just try and hit the nail on the head with these things ASAP and offer resolutions. And a lot of this we automate through AI, in terms of I've got templates that I fill out and just et cetera, et cetera. But it's more about making sure that it's not every situation is exactly the same. And I do want to make sure we are creating this, you know, we are here to help. And if, you know, we are here to help within eBay policy. And if something's not right, then we will try to fix it. And if there's nothing we can do, we will tell you why. And therefore, you know, that's what it's going to be. Good one. All right. There was another one from the Tech Flipper. I love the energy, the strive to get to that next level, but I have to ask, are you concerned everything could work too well, especially with how many plates you were spinning? Being too busy can sometimes be worse than not busy enough. 100%. Like I actually just did a video on this for my Get Wide podcast, which will actually come out before this. But this is probably one of my biggest fears of, like, what if everything works well? But at the same time, it's kind of like, I've never had a moment in our business journey where something's taken off so quick that I haven't been able to handle it. We've done a lot of things, like obviously getting this warehouse. We move quick. Like I execute quick, and then I try and figure it out, which sometimes can be bad. But, you know, I think if everything was to take off, there would be a whole bunch of chaos. I would then start to reprioritize of what's working, what's not. But at the moment, there's nothing necessarily demanding my time more than anything else. Everything's kind of split balanced. I'm taking a bit of a bet that hoping that some things will take off, because if they outweigh the other things, then we can make a decision. But at the moment, because I don't have that decision to be able to be made, because I don't have the data, I'm going to keep testing it. And I guarantee as we scale, I'll work on more little projects, try new things. But it's definitely a scary thing to think, what if this takes off? The other question I would be putting to you is, like, if it takes off, do you want to keep doing it? And that, like, you could understand this of having a new YouTube channel. Let's say all of a sudden your YouTube blew up to 10,000 subscribers. You're getting, you know, 455 comments a day. You've got people wanting questions answered, and maybe they're paying you some memberships, and they want daily videos. All of a sudden, you know, if you weren't doing daily videos, for instance, that pressure to deliver, that pressure to retain it, it might get you the results from a monetary value, it might get you a status, but do you enjoy the process? Now, at the moment, I do enjoy the process and everything that we're doing. I'm not enjoying seeing the lack of results. It's not that we're not getting results, just not where I would like it to be. So therefore, I will continue to do things that help push us towards those results. If I'm in a luxury where we're getting the results that I want, then I can say, well, you know what, this doesn't make sense anymore, because this is getting majority of those results. But until, like, at the moment, the clothing is our core business. I don't have to necessarily worry about that, but I worry about it because it's not delivering the results that I want. Therefore, I will continue to do things either in that part of the business to make it better, or how do I add and stack to the business offering to then meet where I want to be. But no, it's an honest thing, man. Like it's scary stuff. I really appreciate it. All right, we're going to quickly go through the whiteboard, and then we're going to get to some work. So a few things that we need to add to this. So this is just waiting for payment on that wholesale order yesterday. We do have ewaste hopefully coming today. But what I got to add to this is I have a call with a software vendor. He's actually a really good mate, Nate from Shopfront. So I have a call today. I think that's at 2 p.m. with Nate. We also, in terms of some of this tech stuff that we've been doing, like for the trade-ins and stuff, I've got to do another pricing update. They've had a whole bunch of stuff come through, so I'm actually going to do that right now just to get on top of it. But and then I'm going to go do some listings. So just going to do some pricing as well. So all of this stuff that I'm doing is working on the business at this point, but today I'm going to be working on stuff in the business because I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of shoes and handbags and stuff. So I'm just going to open up the roller door, get some fresh air in here, and then I'm going to go do this work. All right, let's do some listings. So I've got a whole bunch of these Gen 2 Telstra modems. I've got a repeat customer reached out to see if we had any more. They were sitting in the backlog, so I'm going to get these photoed right now and listed for them to buy. And then I'm getting into a whole bunch of shoes that are already sitting over here ready to go. We've got heaps more in here as well, so that's really the plan. But this is the quick win. I just got to give these a quick little clean, and then I will get them listed, get them sold, and hopefully sent out. All right, another banger of a morning, folks. Well, we did sell this camera, so that's pretty cool. One of the routers that we were working on last week, they have sold. And then in here we've got a bunch of North Face. We've got a little wool skirt. Actually sold a nice little flannel Wrangler as well. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet. All right, team, we've done a whole bunch of photos and we did some shoes, we did some hats, and I've done a couple of little bits and bobs. Just been doing a whole bunch of listings. Sent 87 listings today. I'm just going to spend some time and work on these 5G routers. So last week we did the low end ones. These are the ones that were for parts only, which you've got to do as a bundle today. But I'm working on these ones, so I'm going to have to go through the process again and triage it, test it, make sure it's reset, and then if that's the case, I should be able to get a couple of those listed. So I'm going to do that now. Alright team, it's been a bit, had some lunch, been on a couple of phone calls, managed to save 15% off my power bill, so that was nice. Might not be making much sales, but at least we're saving money. But no, that's that. I've got a call in the next 15 minutes catching up with Nate from Shopfront, and Dion's finishing up at 2:30, but he's been consolidating, and we're making a good progress here. So we've got all of these boxes that have come out just from this row, and then we had a whole bunch more that have come through the other day that we did. So like it's actually quite a lot, like all here. So it's not too bad. So I'm about to jump into this call, and then after that I'm just going to continue on with some of the e-waste stuff, and I've also got to do drop off of some of the whatnot orders, because people that had pickup, I've got to make sure that I've got all that ready to go, because I'll be dropping that off in the morning. So other than that, I'm hoping the e-waste is still coming. I haven't got confirmation, although they told me yesterday, but usually they give me a bit of a call and just say, hey, when it's coming. But it's probably going to come when I'm on my phone call, on my video call, but that's just the way things are, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to jump into this, and I'll touch in afterwards. All right, team, had a good chat with Nate from Shopfront. Always good chatting with you, buddy. We're going to be doing another catch up and chat soon as well. All right, so also exciting little opportunity. I've actually got a brand popping down tomorrow. They're looking for some vintage clothing that they're going to be doing a bit of a, I guess you could call it like a bespoke piece on or something. So they just wanted to kind of come and have a look, see what we've got, and see what's what we can offer, and see if we can help. So that's a pretty cool opportunity. So look, there's always things happening. There's always new opportunities, fun things. It's never a dull day. And this is the stuff that I love about the business. This is the stuff where ideally I'm doing this while the business is continuing to just, smooth sail. But, unfortunately, the smooth sailing isn't always what people make it out to be. And whether that's because I've done something wrong, or you know, not doing enough, or whatever, who knows. The point is, just because things aren't going as planned doesn't mean things aren't going towards a plan. And it's really important to make sure, this is speaking to myself right now, that you know, just because things aren't looking the way they want to be doesn't mean things aren't working towards where they can be or should be or you want to be. Sometimes things just, you know, a different route. So anyway, I'm gonna go do some work, get back to it. Dion's gone now, and yeah, one thing, look, I've been really focused on this year is actually just spending more time personally for myself outside of work hours, because doing a lot. And tonight we've got, Carl and I have nachos. We'll do a bit of a gym workout, go for a walk, and I've also been trying to block out 1 hour a day minimum of just playing some video games, and been playing Fallout 4, which has been a lot of fun. And I'm excited to be able to come here, do business, do all this stuff, and then go home and do all that stuff. So you got to have that fun balance, because building all of this, it's a big headbang, that's for sure. Anyway, I blabber. Let's get back to it. However, there is some good news. Dion did finish the consolidation before he left. So look at this, all this space ready to go, which is good. This will probably last us another maybe 6 weeks, probably not even that. But we've got all the boxes now. This is all nice and neat now, and there's heaps of boxes down there, so very happy with that. Just having some of these network things get tested. Some of them are just getting reset, so just back to that. It's a bit of a slow process, but I'm doing a few other little things while they reset. So like this one's still coming through. So this one still hasn't actually reset. We've reset it a few times, like factory reset it, but it hasn't triggered. So sometimes they take a little bit of time. And usually the trick with these is you gotta hold in the reset for a period of time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, we'll leave that for a bit and see if it works. So some of these I'm selling individually, some are selling as bulk lots, kind of like untested or not with complete parts, because I don't have enough antennas for those devices, which is a bit unfortunate. This is the whatnot order ready to go out. That's getting dropped off tomorrow. And while that's all happening, I'm just going to sort a couple of things in here, because once we've finished those, we still have all of these to do as well, which is quite a lot. We've got to go through, make sure that they can be reset and everything. We have had a couple more sales come through, so probably going to process them before I leave as well. Haven't heard anything about the e-waste. Usually it comes between now and 4:30. It's now 4 o'clock, so I guess we will find out. I'm going to get a couple of orders out and get them packed. Alright, we've got an interesting brand going out. This one I've never had before or sold before. You can't really see it here, but I'll put it up on screen. I'm going to have to read it out to you because I have no idea. It's called SMII7Y. I don't know. Smiley, maybe? Smiley? Mystic Vision. And he is a YouTuber, gamer, Twitcher. And this one we've sold for $120 plus postage. I think they used a coupon, so there's probably a discount in there somewhere. But yeah, pretty cool to see that one go out. So, and then there's just another Ralph Lauren, just bread and butter stuff going out. So yeah, not too bad. Alright team. So, didn't get any e-waste, which is a bit unfortunate, but probably going to come tomorrow. Another day, another dollar. You know, I don't want to sit here and you know, say, oh, eBay's dead and things aren't working, but things are working. I'm just going to ride the punches, ride it out. I mean, there's nothing else we can really do. By the time I'm going to get home, and tonight after I've had some rest, I will send a couple more listings live. I did a couple on my phone of those network things just before I left, so I'll get them, I'll send them live. But you know, we're still doing all the right things, you know, and I can't figure out why things are a bit dead at the moment. I've been hearing from the grapevine that a lot of other people's stuff are they're in a similar boat, but then I'm seeing others which not really having any issues. So it does make me question, as like, okay, well, we need to do more. But one thing which I don't know long term is the solution of doing more for the sake of doing more versus doing more because it's good for what you want to achieve. And I think this is something which actually I spoke about this in my Get Wide podcast this morning. Around, I've been doing this for long enough, you know, this is our 6th year, and you know, we have our good days, we have bad days, and even though we've been capable enough to achieve what we've achieved right now, when you have those lull moments, I'll be frank, and this is being transparent, you question things. You're like, what's going on? Why isn't it working? What have I done wrong? Is it me? Is it you? What's going on? And that it really does take a hit to the confidence. But I was chatting to Nate today at Shopfront, and you know, we were just talking about numbers and dashboards and things like that. It was a pretty cool conversation, and I actually showed him that February last year was one of our worst months, simply because it was down. Also, we came out of Christmas, we came out of January, and there was this big dip, and I'll put it up on screen. And it's interesting because in the moment, you know, while I'm walking around, while I'm doing stuff, not seeing the results, you know, in the moment it can be scary. You're freaking out, not happy with what's going on, you're expecting more, and that's frustrating. But then when you take a step back, you zoom out, and you take a moment to breathe and really just, you know, come down to earth, and you look at it all and you realize, there is a bigger story. It ain't the end of the world. And coming back to what I also said in my podcast the other day is, you know, you can't control what you can't control. So what are you going to do about the stuff that you can control? That's really the focus, right? And today we've done great work, great progress, had some great calls, more opportunities coming. There's always more things. I'm really excited about the one tomorrow, where a clothing brand wanting to come and leverage some vintage clothing and incorporate that into their brand. And that's a pretty cool, exciting experience. So that's tomorrow. Anyway, I'm just blabbering at this point, but I document this journey simply because I want to document the highs and the lows, and me being transparent around how things are going is a way to do that, because I guarantee you, whether you're doing business, whether you're doing life, whether you're whatever journey you're on, you're always going to have these ups and downs in terms of days. So you got to ride them like you ride those big days, and you feel like everything's under control. You make the most of those days, and then today you have to really ride it out. Oh, a bit tired. Anyway, team, that's it from me. I will see you in the morning. Ciao. All right, team, just like that, it was Wednesday. We're halfway there. Not much to show for it, but we're halfway there. Hope you're doing well. Look, I've had a nice evening rest and ready to tackle a new day. Lots of things happening today. Business as usual in terms of, you know, photos and things like that. I'm going to try and shuffle a lot of this crap today. We do need to sort through a whole bunch of Disney stuff for a consignee that we're going to be doing on Whatnot. We're going to get that done today, and we've also got to start prepping for some washing, which it's not getting picked up till Friday, so I've got to get that done today, tomorrow. We'll try and push through a bunch of photos here. Might not have my full staff in today. One of them is unfortunately unwell, and I said, look, it's not like, you know, contagious or anything, but like, if they're not up for it, just take rest from doctor's orders. No stress my side, but obviously, you know, that's the part of having a business. I do have a new potential opportunity coming in today. They are coming at 10 o'clock. They're actually someone that I actually do work with, but they're coming here for another reason. Their son and them are doing a clothing brand, and they're looking for some vintage stuff to help integrate into that. So they're coming at 10. I've got to shuffle a few things here because this should be getting picked up today. We should be getting e-waste back, all those different things. Got to get listings done, lots of things. So plenty of things going on, folks. And in terms of where we're at with sales and dollars and everything, we're down. And I don't know what's going on. It's all a bit weird, but we're back down to 89,000. Look at that, just woo! nothing I can really do about it at this point, but just list. We've got, I'll probably try and get, I don't know, 80 to 100 listings done today that I've got ready to go live. I've just got to review them. And when I say review them, I basically just spot check them. If there's anything that I want to make sure that we're missing, I put it in there, but otherwise, yeah, it should only take about 15-20 minutes just for the final review. Yeah, we'll do that this morning. So I'm going to get cracking, just shuffle a few things. Dion will be in at 8:30, I think. Let's get into it. Gotta remember to take out the right bin before I forget. Just gotta wrap something up and then let's move on to the next task. Alright, much better. We've got so much more space here now. You can move around. I'm going to continue to do a quick little cleanup and then we're going to get into, I'm going to do some quick photos of these because I forgot to take the photos of that as a parts only lot last night. And then we're going to get into doing some listings. Get straight into it. Just going to clean this stuff up first. Much better. Now we can get through. Just making sure things are a bit better. I always get a bit nervous when I have visitors come on site, and making sure that things are safe and easy to walk through. So that's really why I've done that. All right, let's take a couple of photos over here and then get over to listings. All right, folks, look at all this crazy mats going out. Oh, what's this? Ah, didn't even see them. So we've got some shorts. Actually, we've sold quite a few shorts, and then a couple of North Face sweaters, and that's kind of it. Yeah, welcome to our amazing business, folks. No, it is what it is. I'm just finishing up listings now. We've just done, by the time I've done this, it should be just close to around 65. Oh, the door's gonna slam, and I'm gonna close that. And then we've got to get on to our next thing on the list. I've got someone here at 10, so just trying to get as much done before they come, because they'll probably be here for an hour or so, could be more or less. I did actually do a reel on some of these jackets, and I've had some people interested in some of the North Face stuff, so that was pretty cool. A bit of fun. Alright team, that was pretty cool. It's now 11:39. Had the guys come down from the clothing brand, which was pretty exciting actually, where they basically were looking for a whole bunch of vintage stuff to be able to integrate with their brand, and they mainly picked up a lot of blank stuff, but they were looking for thrashed and ripped and really, the stuff that probably doesn't really sell on eBay that well. So that was pretty cool. They did buy a whole bunch of stuff wholesale, had a look around, and they'll probably be back. So that was pretty cool. We got $150, and they bought 3 or 4 items simply just to do some sampling and testing. But yeah, who knows where that will lead. That was definitely something that wasn't on my bingo card this year. Now it's almost lunchtime, but we're just getting ready for some next washing, and Dion's neck deep in sweaters, which is always a bit of fun, knit sweaters, and just prepping out some more skus. I think I get asked this question once a month: how do we do our skus? We use a little Dymo printer, the label writer, and we just print them onto these little skus here using this tool, which is the Dymo Connect tool actually. So yeah, that's how we do it. Alright team, back over here configuring some of these routers, and again back into learning territory. So this one, which is about a $150 machine, unfortunately I need to get a special cable so I can access the console, so I can't do that, so we're going to skip on this one. I'm going to try these ones. Hopefully we can get some wins with those, but might be the same thing. We might have to just wait for the cable to come. It's coming tomorrow, but we'll try anyway. We'll test them, see if it works. Otherwise move on to the next thing. But the e-waste is coming today, so that's good news. Oh, this has taken a while, but we finally got this one reset, so now I know how to do the others. Just a bit of a sequence of events. The beauty of all this is you can learn it a lot from ChatGPT, so I've just been literally taking a photo of the steps that I'm up to, and then it just tells me what to do. So it's pretty straightforward. Just target shimming. As you can see, this one is now processing, so now that we've done that, I can do the rest. These are all about, let's actually check these. Unfortunately, these models aren't the big ones, but they should do okay. I'll just look them up. Cisco SG 35010s. Let's have a look. Alright, so actually these ones might actually be better. Jeez, you're kidding me. Last one sold brand new for 350, second hand they're selling for 159. So I've got 4 of them. So yeah, we should be able to get 150 each, which is pretty good. So it'll be worth once I get them done. I should get them done today, and that way I can get them photoed and listed and hopefully sold very quickly. The other one we're waiting for that little port. Yeah. Good news, team, is we got the e-waste nice and early as well. The bad news is it's a little light, but that's the reality of it. I'm probably going to get into this now because I feel like we need some quick wins. Hopefully there's a few bangers in here, but you know, knowing my luck this week and last 2 weeks, it's probably nothing special, but we'll get into it. We'll have a look and see what we can find. Oh jeez, all right team, we've battled through it all. I couldn't help myself. I'll show you the results at the end. Spoilers, nothing crazy. I'll clean all this up, get it ready to go out, but yeah, I'll show you everything at the end. I've been filming this as well on my short content, so it gives a little bit of fun later. Anyway, let's get to it. All right, let's see what we got. We've got a fair bunch of phones actually. There is some really good iPhones in here. I mean, they're probably 12s or 13s. If they are working, it's going to be pretty good. A lot of cameras. We did get some computer parts, but probably anything special in there. We got this guy. I've sold one like this before. I hope it works. If it does, it could be okay. A couple of laptops. We did get a Mac down there as well. Pretty slim pickings, but considering we got all of this from this, and it was only about 2, 4, 6, 8. It was about 150 kilos. I think that's pretty good. We've got a WeFit. They'll just go to my media guy. He buys them. Got some wire. Other than that, yeah, pretty slim pickish. Oh, jeez. All right. However, we have had a couple of sales come. If I look like an absolute mess, it's because it is so hot in here, and yeah, it's disgusting. So that's why I look a bit like a hot mess. We have had a couple of sales just come through. Someone has purchased a Star Wars Disneyland tour sweatshirt. It's gone to Japan. It's gone for $134. So I'm going to get this packed and post right now. It is 4 o'clock, and then we've basically got to get out of here anyway. So yeah, I'm going to message my laptop guy, tell him the bad news, and go from there. All right, team, that is a wrap for the day. Look, I would love to say it's been an amazing day, but look, I've just had actually 4 sales come through while I was doing the other 2. So we're now sitting on 11 sales for the day, which is a bit better than yesterday. Revenue for today is $558.34, and ASP sitting around $50. Profit on those items, not net profit in terms of all the overheads, because obviously we can't do that till the end of the month, is about $253. So the margin on the items is really good. It's now, we just need to get more items obviously sold, because that's how we manage our overheads. And I think that's where my biggest challenge and biggest problem is at the moment, is because our volume has dropped. Not sure why. We're not getting that nice little amount of cash flow. But in terms of the actual item selling and the margin on the items, it's actually really good. But yeah, anyway, just to give you some perspective, this is the graph since I started. Look at this, right? We go up, 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 we go up. Big dip here. But this is us in the last few weeks. Just roller coaster rides. But what's interesting is, and I said this last night when I finished up for the night, is last year in, do I have it here? Yes, as you can see here. So last year, there was also a big dip at this time. So look, this is normal. There's a dip here, slight dip here. we weren't selling clothing here either, but you know, it'll be interesting to see where the month lands. We're just charging on, folks. We are charging on regardless. I'm getting out of here. Just excited to get home, chill. I'll just switch off. I'll probably play some video games or watch some TV shows and just enjoy ourselves. And we'll be back here again tomorrow, doing it all again, folks. It is what it is, and I got to clean this up tomorrow, but that's tomorrow's problem. I mean, we got it pretty good. Washing goes out in the morning. We're actually almost out of stock, so we'll be sending out this, when I say out of stock, out of it, clothes ready to photo. So that will go out tomorrow. It will come back Monday. We'll send out more on Monday. At the moment, we've been doing a lot more of our consignment stuff, which is the stuff in the national storage boxes. So yeah, we charge on. We charge on. I'll see you in the morning, folks. Ciao. And just like that, it was Thursday. Oh, geez, it's actually very cold here this morning. Gone from one extreme to the next. Hope you're doing well. So Thursday morning, straight back at it. It's not really a big day actually. Today's focus is really just going to be doing more photos. We've got Dion in, he'll be doing stuff over there. He's actually going to help with some of the non-clothing today because we've got a bit of a backlog. We're sending out the washing, so I've got to just make space here as well. We did end up having a good little run of sales last night, ASP being closer to the 75 mark. We did sell one of those network things for, I think it was $450. And we also had a couple of other high-end items around $100. We sold a Harley dress for 110 bucks. So a whole bunch of things. I'll show you them a little bit later. I'm just going to get myself set up. I've already done 30 listings this morning before I left, but I'll finish off a few more and just get that all sorted. And then the other plan for me today is really just get into these iPhones from yesterday's haul. Hopefully we've got some bangers in here. I know there are some good phones. It's more so that we can actually use them. So that will be my little journey today. Don't think we have anything else happening other than just got to get through the stuff, get the work done. I've got to get them up on the table. I do need to set up a little bit more for the whatnot. Basically just got to set up the different, you know, the lightweight and the medium weight. That table's falling out. And yeah, other than that, it's just do the reps. That's all we can do. Just do the reps. All right, I'm going to get myself set up. It is nippy. Actually, I should probably check this whiteboard, see if there's anything else that I've missed to do this week. I mean, there's always things. Just never ends, does it? So let's have a quick sticky beak. Oh, bit tired, actually. All right. So, whatnot Disney Friday. That's all set up. That's all done. Washing round. Yep, that's getting picked up this morning. E-waste, this is what we're doing today. Process guides, yep, we're working on that while we're doing that. Process inbound stock, so we're getting there. A bit of a backlog. Space changes haven't done. Photos of lists, I mean, it's all the same stuff. For those, I think I mentioned at the start of the week, thinking about moving this guy out or moving out one of the other ones that we've got. The one over there, we're going to put it outside maybe, keep it covered. That way we've just got a bit more space in here to shuffle things around and move, and I might be able to use it a bit more, but I don't really want to get rid of it because I know in the long run I'll probably want to use it, but for now it's kind of like just trying to make a bit of extra space so things aren't as cluttered, but sometimes that reality just isn't possible yet. So anyway, I'm going to get this stuff done and then we'll get into the day. We just got a couple of questions that I'll answer before I forget. We have one from DJ Clips. What are your thoughts on cross-listing to different platforms? Do you feel it's good or is it better to have a separate stock for each platform to avoid double selling? Honestly, I don't cross-list. I know a few people are doing it and they've been saying it's fine. I just don't like doing it because I've already got 10,000 things going on. I'm trying to stay singular to a platform other than whatnot. But no, there's some good tools. If you want to check out a really good tool, shop from. I know Nate personally, the CEO. He's got an amazing tool and that does cross-listing as well. So definitely worth sussing out. there's a couple other questions. This is going to die. I just need to charge it quickly. All right, there was a question from Miss Lachey Resells. Hey Chris, thanks for sharing. I have a question maybe you can address. Are you buying raw and unsorted bulk media then selling wholesale to specific customers? So yes and no. We don't buy our media. It's part of my contract with the e-waste where we have to sort it to minimize the recycled amounts. So we focus on getting anything that can be obviously reused or resold. And then I have a singular buyer for all our media because he takes everything. Whereas we had too many people originally wanting just to pick and choose what they wanted, which obviously left a lot of the crap, which didn't make sense. So this guy's got a good deal. He buys it all. You know, we've filtered it already. So that works in our favor. That's really, really good. Great question. Then we had Bradley come through. Appreciate your support and encouragement, mate. Thanks for being here. And we had a bit of a banter here, but regarding the insurance going up, yeah, so because it's the annual renewal of my contract for the warehouse, rent goes up and the insurance goes up as well because it's just standard stuff. Frustrating. I could pay on a monthly basis, but they charge a higher premium if you do monthly. So I'm just like, you know what, stuff it. Let's just pay the full amount of insurance and we'll figure it out. And suck it up. That's the joys of running a business like this. This week's been pretty quiet in sales as well, mate, as you would probably have heard if you've watched this. So we're pushing through, but definitely challenging times. All right, time to show you folks what we've got going out. Low volume but high ASP, so we've got seven sales going out. It's about $711. We're on 90,066, so still containing it. In here, actually, there was some interesting stuff. We've actually sold a bit of Carhartt and Nike stuff, and then there was this Harley Davidson dress. Was actually, it's been sitting there for a while. We had it for 120, and someone offered 100, and I was like, you know, geez, why not? Which is interesting because we have a 25% coupon, and they weren't advertised that from eBay, so I'm not complaining, but I mean, we've had that for a while. That's SKU 12,753. We're up to like SKU 24,000 now. And this one is the big banger. This one went for, it was 465, I think. 435. This is that 5G router that we got last week or the week before. And we've still got one more of these, so hopefully we can sell the other one and get some good cash flow for this, but that was a quick win. And of course, had to spend the time testing it and figuring it out, but it was definitely worth it. All right, team, it is pouring outside. We're just waiting for the washing lady to get here. I'm gonna have to try and get out there and not get too drenched. Anyway, so Dan's just finishing off some of the hoodies and sweaters from yesterday that remains, and then he's going to be doing shoes and handbags and a few bits and bobs. I'll probably get him doing a few other random stuff too. I'm just going to be working on these iPhones, but here's all of we've got a whole bunch of bags and shoes, and then that's just through one of our consignees. I mean, if he's enjoying doing the shoes, I'll probably give him some more to do, but there's a few other bits and bobs in here that we have to do as well. So I'm just doing this. I'm going to send a message to my camera guy for all the cameras that we got. I'm going to start on these iPhones. I'm getting that cable today that I can do the networking stuff with. So yeah, just going to keep pressing through on that stuff. Team, we're not having much luck today. So the bet a lot of the phones were unable to be utilized, which is a bit unfortunate. We've still got a couple left that we're going to try. We have got a couple of Samsungs here. I think a 9 and a 10, which, you know, they won't be crazy dollars, but they do help. So tough pickings. It is tough pickings. I've got a couple more to go, so I'm going to try that. I've got a Pixel next, and I do have a Samsung Flip actually, but it is a bit buggered, so not sure if it's going to work, but we'll see. All right, team, small update. Not much to show for it. We have been successful with one Mac. I mean, this is just a parts only. Screen seems to be fine. There's no hard drive in it, so can't really do any more critiquing on it. So we'll just be selling, probably list it for like 99, hopefully get 75. Good news is though, we've got all these switches done now, so I can take a photo of those three. They should get us 150 each. This one I'm just resetting now. That's a slightly different model, also about 150. Once I've done that, I'm moving on to all of, we've got a lot to get through. I've got to look up to see if they're even worth doing actually, but we have a whole bunch of these little switches as well. So yeah, making my way through that, and then I'll probably get on to some of this, that, and my camera guy's coming around too, and there's probably a couple other quick wins in here, but trying to focus on the higher dollar stuff first, and then we move into the lower dollar stuff. So it's a slow process today. All right, so this is what we ended up with. We've got these 3 switches. We've got the Mac. We've got the better working switch with the power. We did get an iPad out of that, and we got the 2 Samsungs. Hopefully the Samsungs we should get close to 100 each. So we've got 150, 150, 150. Yeah, so we're sitting at 600, 800, and then the Mac we should get 75, so 875. The iPad I'll probably end up putting in a bundle lot. This one we're still waiting for the USB to console cable to arrive. It's coming from Amazon today. It's almost lunchtime, but I'm gonna go get these photos uploaded, and we can get these boosted and hopefully sold ASAP. So funny story, team. Just was getting Dion set up over there, and we were just checking through some of the stuff, and I said make sure you always check the pockets of the bags, because you know that's where usually the tag is and stuff. And as I was checking one, which we hadn't even started, found $50. So, I love it. So I made my day, because we haven't had a sale today yet, and $50, well, I'll take it. Right, team, we've got the new cable that we need. This is a USB to console cable, which means we can test this other device, which hopefully is going to be working. And even if it's not, we've got the cable now, so if we get more stuff like this, this is the kind of stuff that I would love to get more of, simply because, well, one, it does usually retain its value. These aren't necessarily new models, but they're still relevant models for people to be using. So, yeah, they're good, kind of like bread and butter stuff. All right, let's give it a go. All right, I had a good chat with my camera guy. He was just here. He spent $420. Really appreciate you, mate. We've been trying to get this thing to work. It is just not happening. Looks like it's, yeah, it can't be reset. It gets a bit technical. I've had to go through this little terminal called Putty, trying to get through the console and see if we can get it to reset, but it's just not working with the normal sequence. Which is a bit frustrating. So I'm going to do a quick little search more, because this one is worth a bit more, but I think it's not going to be worth it if we can't get it soon enough. So that's that. Dion has gone as well. He's just finished up. I think he finished all the shoes. He started on the bags, but he finished all of the clothes that were over here anyway, so that's really good. Which means tomorrow the team's going to be focusing on doing consignment stuff, and he's just going to continue on with that. So that's okay. I'm happy with that. Really grateful that I have a team that can do these things. For me, I'm going to go just update my dashboard. I am going to then continue just listing a couple of things, but main thing is I'm going to research this switch, to see if we can get it to work. If not, I'm going to have to walk away from that one, which is a bit frustrating. We've had a couple more sales come through. Things are starting to pick back up again. It's all over the place. Anyway, let me get to work and I'll check in soon. All right, team. Had a couple more sales come through. One thing I actually realized I haven't done is I haven't set up my stock inventory for Whatnot. So I need to do that right now. I'm going to do that quickly. It won't take long. But good news is, so we have listed 80 items today. Total value of listings is $6,429. Now, of course, that's assumed pricing, but we do try to price our items competitively, but at the same time, I'm always open for offers and things like that as well. So, yeah, we're really pumping out to get as much stuff to the store. And like I said, we are having a higher ASP at the moment. So like ASP today is $95, which is really, really good. But obviously the challenge is like, well, we're getting very low volume. So we've only done 8 sales today. And like I've sold those cameras, so that does help. But a lot of that hasn't been on eBay. So we've probably done like 4 on eBay and 3 off, because they were kind of different bundles. But we're nowhere near where we need things to be. So listing these higher priced items sometimes does help, but of course you need the right buyer. I am still pending a couple of payments for some invoices. I've got probably about $300 pending just from a couple of things. Hopefully they come through today, tomorrow, before the end of the week. Right now, we're kind of sitting on, for the week, we're only sitting on 3,000, which is ridiculous. The forecast for the week is about 5.5. We need to be sitting at 9.5, so we're way off. The month is, though, forecasted to do about 29,000, which, you know, if I look to last year, is better for February this time of year, but still not where I really want it. So I'm going to set up this whatnot stuff, then I'm going to go prep for tomorrow. I've got the work experience student back in again, so they'll be helping sort clothing, and I've got to do washing bags as well. However, I'll probably just get that started and down my help with that tomorrow anyway. Yeah, let's get to it. All right, team, we've got to just plan what we're sending out for washing next. So what we sent out last today was knits, and we sent out a whole bunch of t-shirts. I think what we're going to be sending out next is probably more pants and jeans. And this is just through one of our sources. So we try and mix it up. So we had all of this come back the other day. This stuff we don't have to wash. That's already the stuff getting hanged up. But this stuff does need to be washed. That's the stuff that we've got the work experience student working and sorting through. So I think that's what we're going to do. There's a whole bunch of teas in here and stuff which make it really easy for some quick wins. I think we're going to send all of these, and then we'll get into the pants and jeans as well. So I'm going to just start doing that now. It's 4 o'clock. I've got to pick Carla up shortly, and I might have to do the post before or after. I'm not too sure yet. But yeah, that's what I'm going to spend the time doing now. I've also got to release my short video for the day. Haven't got to that yet. I will do that probably while I wait for Carla at the train station. We also need to get some more supplies. We've actually surprisingly run out of smalls, and we're almost out of large. So surprisingly, we are, even though it doesn't seem like we're selling a lot, we're still selling a lot, and we're still making it making it happen. All right, I'm just going to get started on this. And just like that, team, that is a wrap for the day. Interesting day. You know what? I'm still very, very frustrated with we're not seeing the uptick, even though we're putting in the effort for it. But I'm charging on. This is the frankness of me documenting the journey. You're going to get my highs, you're going to get my lows. At the moment, I'm just really, because it's not busy in terms of like, you know, having to do lots of things, and we're just doing the grind. It's those higher ASP stuff that we can get listed at this point in time, which is going to help us. Me spending a lot of time having to test and triage all that stuff just means that we know how to do it going forward. Ideally, if we get more of that stuff, we'll be able to do it quickly. That's the way I'm justifying it anyway. But other than that, look, it's just we charge on. Tomorrow can change. Tomorrow might be worse, might be better. Obviously, everything that I do is working towards making things better. But, you know, when you don't see those results, you start to think, well, what's going on? But at this point, I'm just charging on regardless. So appreciate you all. I'll be back here tomorrow morning doing it all again. Carla won't be here. She's working and she has an appointment tomorrow anyway, so won't be here. But soon enough, she'll be hanging out here. Actually, she might not. She's really enjoyed just working from our home, like working from home, because she's got all the comforts of home there. So doesn't need to be at the warehouse necessarily, but you'll see her soon enough. All right, team, I will see you tomorrow. Ciao. And we're back at it. We are back at it. It's Friday morning, folks. Welcome back. And it's just me at the moment. Dion's going to probably be here. I think he's here at 8 o'clock, actually. Anyway, just gotten in. It is 7:30 and had to run a couple of errands this morning. But it's another big day. It's another day of opportunity, another day where we've got lots going on. So I've got to quickly get this set up ready for the work experience student. And I'm also going to get out a whole bunch of consignment stuff so that we can keep getting photos happening. And I need to just shuffle a couple of things here as well. Oh, just got a sale. Sales have been a little bit better, a little bit. Nothing crazy, but a little bit better. And we did sell the laptop from last night. Sold one of the phones I haven't paid yet. So we are getting a little bit more momentum from the stuff that we did yesterday, some of the electronics. But I'm just going to get straight into it, folks. I need to just get some things done before everyone's here and doing their thing. So give me a bit, I'll get set up and then we'll crack on. I tell you, I'm not really having much much luck, are we? But look, something that's on my mind is, you know, this is actually a bit of a tough conversation to have, really. Sales are down, volume is down, profit is down because expenses are up and because sales are down, and it's been a crazy just roller coaster ride over the last 4 or 5 months. And you know, I'm really getting kind of pushed into a corner, pushed into a position in which, you know, I have to make some really tough decisions, have to make some big changes, I think. And you know, what that looks like is very different, and you know, I'm kind of being left with no choice of, like, you know, well, do you continue doing this? Do you have to make a big pivot? Do you need to make a change? Do I, you know, need to ask for help? Do I need, what do I need to do? And the reality is it's actually quite simple. It really is quite simple. I'm just going to keep charging on. That's what I'm doing, right? And though I do come across as, you know, things are bad, things are not going well and things like that, well, that's business and that's life. And I'm very comfortable in having to be uncomfortable in order to get what I want. And that means there's going to have to be some, you know, look, I will make some changes. I will continue to revamp, continue to pivot, continue to adjust. But there's a lot of things that are out of our control. And I spoke about this earlier in the week, where we have to focus on the things that we control, whether it's doing more photos, doing more listings, getting better product, whatever, but just working through the problems and actually solving the problems. You know, there's no point me saying, I'm giving up, it's all over, that's it, I'm done, I can't do this anymore. Because the reality is like, well, I'm not done. I'm not giving up. Like, I'm not ready to give up. And, you know, even though just because you have a couple of bad weeks, a couple of bad days, even if you have a couple of bad months, if we zoom out, we're still in a very great position, I think, from my consideration of how I value that, or how I guess, KPI that. And for those that are probably, you know, going to come at this, and I'm really kind of just giving you the opportunity to jump at me saying, I told you so. And there's been a lot of people that have said, you know, come next year, you're going to struggle and all that. Mate, or whoever you are, the whole entirety of Australia is struggling. Now, there's outliers to that, but, you know, there's been a lot of businesses that have closed in the last 6 months. I think I just heard on the news this morning that Barbecues Galore has entered voluntary administration, which, you know, there's people suffering in so many different ways that we don't really realize, or things that were problems for such a long time have finally just cascaded over. And, you know, obviously I can see, you know, that, okay, well, we need to fix this isn't working, we need to change that, la-da-da-da-da. So we'll continue to do that. My biggest challenge is obviously cash flow, but just because something isn't looking right today doesn't mean it's going to not be better tomorrow. And I know you got to be careful of that, because you can't just assume everything's going to change. But I know through myself, through the team, through the effort, through the work that we're doing, that the intention and the action that we put in is going to provide a desirable outcome. Sometimes it's just not instant. And for anyone that is feeling sales are down, struggling, that's not worth it, hey, it's up to you to decide what you want to do with your business, or your side hobby or whatever, whether it's not worth your time and things like that. If you don't think this is worth my time, I appreciate your concern, but you know, we ain't backing down. We aren't backing down. We're just getting started. I've said this for the last, every year when I've had a downfall, we are just getting started. So anyway, I'm just getting a whole bunch of clothes out, getting this ready for the team, and Dion will be here shortly, I think. So I'm going to charge on that, but I'll talk a bit more about some other things at the end of the day. We've got the Whatnot today, the Disney show. We've got to order some more padded mailers. I think I've got my laptop guy coming. He's just swinging by to pick up a couple of chargers. Let's get it. All right, team, what have we got? We got this Mac, which this is the one we did yesterday. That one's gone for just under $100. We've actually sold a good variety of different things. Got a little jacket here. We did sell some sweaters, some old Tommy, and couple of jeans, and I think there is a pair of True Religion shorts. So bit of bread and butter, but we actually got more sales this morning than we have had yesterday at this time, so that's a win. All right, I'm actually doing my listings now, and then the rest of the day's focus is really just sorting clothing, prepping for the whatnot, and doing listings and photos. All right, team, it's been a bit. I've just been doing listings, and we've been doing a whole bunch of plushies and Pokemon plushies, sorry, and Dion's out there doing photos. I've got this work experience student sorting all the boxes of clothes. I'm actually just getting ready for whatnot now. It's 11:12, so I'm just getting all of this ready, and we're going to update this sheet. Here we go. So we want to grab this one, and we're going to change it to $1 starts. So let's update that. We go $1 starts. It's not sudden death today. Get review. Fair new tag. Not sure if there is any newer tags. Combined posts, not washed. This has actually come from Vintage Haul. From a sort of vintage of like bales and import. Bid if you intend to buy. Actually, I need to check if they have been washed. No, it has not been washed. So this is the setup for today, essentially. I mean, we've still got an hour and a half till we have to start, but wish us luck, hey? I'm just doing a little bit of admin, making sure everything's ready. We've just been getting out a couple of giveaways ready for that. I'm hoping that we'll smash through all this and get some good dollary dues. Yeah, and just doing a few other little admin, working on a few other things. Also, we've done 55 listings for today. Hopefully we'll be able to get a couple more extras up there by the time we finish doing a few bits and bobs today. But also I want to leave some for the weekend as well, so I don't really max out all my listings because I don't want to work on the weekend, so I'll leave some in the draft and we send them live on the weekend. All right, team, it's now lunchtime. I'm going to give you a quick update. Everyone's just having some lunch, so Dan's also gone to get lunch, so taking a break, whatever, all good. So the work experience student has actually done an amazing job. They've nearly finished all of this clothing, so just putting it into categories and things like that, but we found some pretty cool stuff. Sorry, they've found some pretty cool stuff. What have we got here? We've got, we are finding a bit of polo, which is pretty cool. That's been great to find. There was a really cool jersey in here. I'm just going to see where it is, this one. So this guy was in here. This is a nice little piece. Pretty cool. And then there was an RLX in here as well. Ralph Lauren RLX. Yeah, there it is. Nice little polo in here as well, which is pretty cool. So there's been some cool stuff in here. I'm very excited. We're going to try and get into that, send those out for washing Monday actually. So anyway, that's been really great. I've just been doing a lot of admin stuff. There's some more things that we're working on, and this is what I love about my business at the moment is, well, other than we're not getting any sales, but you know, my role as trying to take us to where we need to go, but the problem solving part, that's the part I love, and that's where I can bring my best value to the business, simply because I can focus on the next steps, where we're taking the business, where we're taking the team, what are we trying to achieve, how are we going to get there. And I sometimes feel a little bit insecure, or feel, you know, doubtful that, oh, you know, maybe I need to be doing more of the operation stuff. But no, I don't. The idea isn't about me doing more operations. If I'm not leading the business to where it needs to go, then, you know, and I'm too bogged up in doing the operations, it will never get to there. That's why we have to just keep going through what we're doing, figure it out, work through the challenges, and that's my job. That's my responsibility to get us through there. I'm not the one necessarily doing the work to get there, but I'm helping setting the strategy, the plan, the vision, and equipping and enabling the team to get there. And you know, I've just spent the last hour and a half just been doing a whole bunch of stuff, working on some strategy stuff, because there's some changes that will be coming soon, and that will be revealed. But very excited to be doing that, and I love that. I love that more than just, you know, having to do the photos and stuff. I don't mind doing the photos of clothing, but it's not, where I can best use my time. Anyway, I'm gonna have some lunch, so I can have well, it's 1 hour to the show, so I need to take a break, have some lunch, and then we're gonna get into the Whatnot show. All right, team, we're about to go live. Wish us luck, and I'll see you in the aftermath. All right, team, we just finished. Finished a bit early because we had a bit of an issue with the postage where, and this is probably one of the problems with Whatnot, is the postage is cubic. So it gets to a point where it becomes too expensive for customers and they don't want to buy anymore. So a lot of them were complaining, and not meaning at me, but just in general, that postage is too high. So they were buying one item for $1, but they had to pay $13 for every item. So it just seems ridiculous. It's very, very annoying. So anyway, we did finish a bit earlier than expected, but we did $434, 112 items. This was a consignment, so a lot of that will go to the customer, and then I'll just get a little bit. They'll just compensate me for my time. But yeah, good session. Appreciate everyone that showed up. Bit of fun. We've got all of this, 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 all of this. That was kind of leftovers and passes. So I've got a whole bunch of messages I've got to attend to from some customers on eBay, and one of my clients has been trying to call me about a trade-in, so I've got to address that right now. So I'm going to do that, and I'll get back to you afterwards. All right, there's always things to be done. Good news is we have sold a nice $500 item while I was doing Whatnot. So I'm going to quickly send a couple of things. I've got to do a bit of a cleanup in here just so it's all good to go for Monday. I've got to check, I think the folks, so student has left of course as well. Dion's gone. Looks like we've got a good amount of, oh geez, look at this. Look at this. Woo! Jeez. Just getting a thumbnail shot. But yeah, this is pretty wild. So they've nearly finished sorting it all. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So next week we'll probably end up finishing this, and then we'll have to get into some of the other stuff. Let's see how many boxes we've got here. Bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. I'm gonna just send 9 by the looks of it. I thought there was another one. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Cool. All right, I'm gonna get this stuff done. I'll show you the thing that sold really expensive, and I'll continue on. All right, so we sold another one of those 5G routers that we were doing. Was it the start of the week? Yeah, I think it was. The Teltonica 5G industrial router. This one's gone for $500 plus postage for $15, and then we sold a couple of AFL cards for about $69. So nice little win for the day. I'll take it. I'm going to get these packed up, and then I'm going to go find all these little things that I need to do before I leave. And I'm also meeting up with one of my suppliers. He just messaged me saying, am I going to be somewhere later today? And I said I can be. So I'll be picking up some goods from him as well. So never a dull day. All right, team. It's time to head on home. What a week, day, and interesting month it's planning to play out to be. Anyway, where's my head at? So there's been a lot of obviously this week, but maybe you haven't watched the whole video. So this week it's been a bit of a challenge. We're not seeing the numbers, not seeing the results that we're wanting, that I'm wanting. We're definitely seeing results, just not the results I want. And I'm constantly reminded by those ahead of me that it's okay. You got to ride the wave, and don't let this bring me down. Versus I'm being swamped with the panic of others that are experiencing this, and being very negative about it. And then I'm stuck in between of my own my own confidence and all those different things, which you start to question, well, hang on, am I doing something wrong? When we've obviously got it to this far, so why would I be doing something wrong? If anything, it's more so it's like, okay, what is it that I need to not be complacent on, and where can we trim up, and what can we be doing better? So that's where my head's been at all week. But there's some exciting things always happening. I talk about this every week, that there's we're doing our core of our business, which is clothing and eBay. There's always more things that I'm working on, which if you go back to before I went away to the Philippines, I was always saying, you know, I'm working 90 days ahead. That's where I'm at. That's my job, to take this business to that next level. And, you know, with that trade-in stuff that we had been doing and some of the tech stuff that's been coming through, you know, that's been a long work in the process. And we had another one come through for an offer, which hopefully will get approved and come through for next week. So those things, you know, they're shaping up and they're becoming additional things which we didn't have previously. You know, some of the networking stuff that I did this week, which took a lot of time to triage, you know, that's generated $900 of, you know, normally if we hadn't had that, didn't know how to do it, missed opportunities. So there's lots of opportunities. It's just like those things are actually keeping us afloat where our core isn't, but the core has, you know, whittled out for some reason. But I'm very confident that it's probably a timing factor. I was chatting to my laptop guy, and you know, he told me that 12% of the Australian mortgage homeowners defaulted on their loan in January. 12%, and that was before the interest rate rise. So there's definitely a lot of you know, a lot of challenges and pressures happening for individuals, and obviously we're one of them too. Now I am a mortgage homeowner as well, so I'm definitely feeling the you know, the challenge of it. And I've got a rental property as well, so I've got 2 mortgages. So I understand it. I feel the pressure, but you know, the reality is like, just because things aren't going well doesn't mean we have to accept them, and we charge on and we figure out how to beat them. And that's what I'll do. So as much as I'm feeling poopy and flat about, you know, not seeing the targets I want to hit, I'm confident that we're going to get it all solved and figured out. But other than that, I think you know, there's been some other exciting things that I've worked on, and this week, because I've actually been working on things in the future, that gets me excited. And though short term we're not seeing that gratification, I know long term we're going to win. So that's all it is. That's all I've got to say on that. I mean, there is something else which I'll be sharing soon enough, which is pretty exciting. Just waiting for that to get finalized, and there'll be some new exciting things coming to the business. That scares me a lot, but I think it's going to be a good opportunity, more positives than negatives. Other than that, like, you know, we've been hit with obviously a lot of challenges with team members being away and stuff like that. So that gets me not frustrated at the team. It gets me frustrated with the whole, how do we continue to mitigate those issues? You know, if people need to take time off, they need to take time off, and I really want them to do that, which is fine. So how do I manage the, what do you call it? It's kind of like the flux, or, you know, the ups and downs of it. And I can't afford to be hiring at this point in time until I get a little bit more money back in the bank, since being away and things like that. So when I say money back in the bank, I mean capital. So yeah, lots of challenges, but all problems that can be solved, I think. Other than that, look, Whatnot was a bit of a drag today. But I'm happy with it because it's not my stock, not my cost. We did finish it early because there were some postage issues, and, you know, I didn't want having to sell my person's stock for just $1 a pop, so we cut it off early. Yeah, I think that's it in terms of numbers this week. Yeah, really flat, but, you know, I'm going to share the numbers anyway. We're only on 70 sales. Usually we do about 150 sales for the week, so we're way behind. We're sitting on at February 13th, which is Friday at 4:30 p.m. We're sitting on $4,800. So we're averaging, I mean, it's not bad. We're averaging $961 a day. Usually we need to be closer to that $1,200. And our target for the week is usually 9.5, and we're expected to do 6.7. So yeah, we've missed out on about 3K there, because we had a $150 day and we had a $300 day, so that really hurts. And then we've had some bigger days, so unless the weekend's gonna, like, you know, really show up, we'll probably get to 6K, if not a little bit more. than last year, so that's good, but you know, different circumstances now. Other than that, folks, we'll be back here again next week doing it all again. I challenge you, whereas if you're feeling the squeeze, the question you should ask yourself, the question I'm asking myself is, are you getting complacent? Have you slipped? And what can you be doing that's going to enable you to take back some level of control? Or what can you do that you are in control of? That's my challenge to you. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, comments, chuck them down below. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Do it all again.